What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show. It is 3 p.m. It is October 14th, and we've got a great one lined up for you guys today. We're talking about altcoins. Is alt season closer than some people think? A lot of coins look like they could be on the verge of breaking out to the upside. However, there are things you need to know about them. We're going to talk a lot of altcoin discussion today. Crypto markets in general, though, are further up since this morning. Bitcoin briefly eclipsed $66,000. Will that be a resistance level, or are we on our way to 70K before tomorrow? Make sure not to go anywhere. Watch all the way to the end. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the show. Hit subscribe as we are about to cross the 32,000 subscriber mark. We need your help. But first, you guys know it. We got to roll the intro. Mr. T Shroom, you got some changing lights back there. You got something new addition to the set?
That's right, Tim.
Yeah,
more lit than I deserve, and it's changing
the
pigment of my skin too as we speak. So
I know it changes your colors.
I may have discovered a scientific breakthrough here.
could end up getting a little distracting, but it's good to see. How are you doing as a whole, other than your lighting system?
Oh, Tim, I am doing better than I deserve, actually.
Good.
Very, very good. And the power's back on. I was 4 days without power, for those of you who are checking in. And I really appreciate everybody, wishing me well and cheering us on as my wife and I kind of fought through the darkness. Now, I am a kind of guy who keeps a lot of flashlights, a lot of extra batteries, and those came in handy over the weekend. So thank you, the hurricane. I thank the hurricane for giving us the opportunity to practice, being safe in emergency situations. So, Tim,
very true.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be home. Good to be back in my casa. But what's even better is looking at these charts. Take a look at the bubbles right now, T-Shroom. A sea of green, even more so than this morning. Couple holdouts. We can't have it all. SPX decided to be down 10%. Tron is down 1.3%. I think there's technically some other. What is this one right here? Oh, BitTensor is down. Okay. BitTensor slightly down. Nothing crazy. But other than that, T-shirt, look at the sea of green. I don't love the leader, right? The world coin being at the top of that is not the best. Here's what we'll say. Anyone who's newer to the channel, world coin is going to make people a lot of money. The truth is there's a lot of interesting technology about this project, right? So if you want to make money, even if it means the end of our civilization as we know it, WorldCoin could be an option for you. The problem is it is the most invasive, worst altcoin, in my personal opinion, at keeping people's privacy. You will never, one time ever, in the history of all time, hear, at least myself, I can't speak for T-Shroom or Crux, but you will never hear me say, hey guys, I think WorldCoin's a good investment right now. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. The others, though, on this list, a lot of good stuff up here. And we're going to spend a lot of time today breaking down those alts. Let's quickly dive into Bitcoin, just so we know what's going on. If you missed our morning show, that's okay. Hurt our feelings that you didn't show up at 9 a.m. Monday morning and Wednesday mornings, by the way, as well. But, you can just join next week. We talked about the big breakout that happened late last night as Bitcoin broke major levels of resistance in a smaller term downtrend. And now we've come back up and hit the same peak that we hit back here on September 28th. Back up there at $66,000. Let's turn on some things here. We didn't quite get up into the bearish breaker block. That's a little higher up here, up towards 66.6. But this is a zone that we're definitely keeping an eye on this morning. We talked about right here, 67.8 is going to be an interesting spot because there's a lot of order blocks in this place, meaning high levels of liquidity. It is that falling level of resistance that we've been under since the all-time high set back in March. So that's going to be our zone to watch. But if that breaks, if this one breaks right here, 67.8, everyone keeps talking about 70,000, and 70,000 is going to be really important to get above. I don't want to discredit the importance of 67,000 or 70,000. Excuse me. But if 67,000, that's where my confusion was getting there. If 67,000 is broken, I think it's just a matter of, let's not even say weeks, let alone months. I think it's days away from brand new all-time highs. Yes, I'm talking about getting up above $74,000. What's going to stop us? A rejection at this red line around 67.8. So can the bulls keep this party going? We're going to have to wait to find out. But let's change topics here a little bit, right? Well, the Bitcoin dominance chart kind of still climbing right now, but it's not moving very fast despite the fact that Bitcoin is. And the reason for that is because we got some good movement on the altcoins. But I want to start off with a coin that is going to explode. It's in the title, Solana. I'm loving what I'm seeing on Solana. And I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds real quick to look at my chart and tell me why I'm so excited about Solana. If you said inverse head and shoulders pattern, then you are 1,000% correct. Check out what we've got going on here with Solana. I'm looking at this one. Some people are going to ask me which one's the left shoulder. We're going to rock with this bad boy right here. This dip we had back here in August, that is our left shoulder. Nice formed head. And then this recent pullback on Solana forming our right shoulder. Technically speaking, we're going to get technical, it hasn't officially launched. Why? Because it hasn't made it back up and broken through the neckline. But if this formation, which again, this is like a textbook, like this is the type, when I'm teaching inverse head and shoulders pattern, I might just use this one. We'll see if it breaks out to the full extension. But the way it's setting up right now with that left shoulder, head and right shoulder, this is a beautiful looking inverse head and shoulders pattern. For anyone who's not used to it, though, you take the length of the head up to that neckline where you touch the two shoulder, or like where the base of the neck is right there. And then you move it up to the breakout. This would, if it plays out, send Solana above the 200 back up to 216. That actually would be good enough for a new, is that new all-time high? No, it's not new all-time high. I misspeak because we had a new all-time high, or the all-time high is set from back in November of 2021 up at 268. But it would be a new high for this bull market. Keep an eye on this bad boy. What else is being told to us, though, on Solana's chart? You have a major order block in play here at the neckline mixed with that daily smart trail, right? So even though I'm excited about this formation, absolutely still want to make sure you understand there's going to be some selling pressure right in here around 162. Why? Because as much as the bulls might be looking at this and wanting to buy to rally up to 216, several people will look at these levels of resistance. Several people already have probably their take profit levels at this place. Some people will see this as an opportunity to enter some short positions, but if the bulls can rally, if that alt season really gets going and you smash through these levels of bearish resistance, then that's when the party really gets going. Let's check out our oscillators where you are going to see some positivity here on Solana. The RSI crossing back above the 50, making some moves back up to the oversold region. It's not there yet, though. It has a lot of room to go to the upside. The MACD just today crossing a bullish MACD cross on the daily chart. You love to see it. And while we didn't get an official buy signal on the Luxago oscillator since back here on September 8th, that still is the bottom. We don't need another green reversal during bull trends as long as you have no major sell signal, which we do not have. Why? Because this red reversal and bearish momentum did not catch negative money flow. You want to look for a continued positivity move in our oscillator and continued positivity in the money flow. So am I saying this is the most bullish indicator I've ever seen? No. But when you mix it with everything else going on, the daily chart gives us more reasons to be excited about an upward movement on Solana than it does on a downward. Let's see if the 4-hour ruins the party, because as I said, we are starting to run into some resistance. Major order block right back here in this range. Take profit. We're already in it, but we're getting closer towards the top level. So keep your eyes on those. But let's take a look over here. We are 100% overbought on the 4-hour chart. The MACD is highest it's been on the 4-hour chart since way back here at the last time we rejected and had a pullback. And then you have the Luxago oscillator right now. We're seeing a reversal in play with a very overextended oscillator and a high money flow. Doesn't mean we have to reverse go to the downside, but I would not be surprised that we do see when we get to the neckline of Solana that we've mentioned here, up here around 161, 162. Would not be surprised for a small cool off, maybe back down here to this bullish breaker block in the range of about 150 before this all takes back off and up to the upside. But on that 4-hour chart, meaning the next couple of days, probably not going to see a major breakout. If we do get above 162, though, and close a 4-hour candle above that, that would be awesome. But for now, I guess the best way to put this is, if you think you're about to miss out on a major Solana rally, I think you got a couple days. I even think you possibly could get away with a purchase back at 150 before that takeoff continues. That's what we have going on with Solana. Let's check in on another coin that has been exploding recently, but yet it's really strange today. While literally almost everything in crypto is up, except for a couple of those bubbles we showed you, this one must have had a really small bubble or maybe just barely green in 24 hours. But if you take a look at only when the daily candle is open, SUI with a little bit of bearishness, down 3.7% on the day or the daily candle. Why is this? Well, if you had watched the show Friday, and I understand that we have been calling for a pullback on SUI here for a little bit, I still think there's going to be one, but I keep raising my floor of how low it can go. I did, though, put this blue box right here. I said, hey, guys, look for this range, this box to get hit for resistance over the weekend. Well, sure enough, that is what happened. And now, while everything else is rallying, SUI is staying low. It's not dropping like crazy, and the reason why is because everything else is going to the upside. But the bulls aren't keeping the momentum going. This is kind of what we're looking at and saying, all right, that SUI pullback we've been looking for, this is a pretty clear evidence that SUI's rally at the moment is probably over. It's going to cool off. My guess is somewhere between 20 to 30%. I'll explain why here in a second. But I'm guessing based off of everything else pumping today, everything else going to the upside, at least 5%, it's not moving. Why? Because it doesn't have a lot more room to the upside. It needs to cool off to get a fresh rally. Where could that be? Well, the first thing I'm going to keep an eye on is the $2 mark. Why? Because we definitely will have our smart trail on the 4-hour chart in that range. If I showed you the oscillators as well, you will see that we got a sell signal. It wasn't a perfect sell signal, but we did get a sell signal way back here. Even though we had another rally afterwards, that sell signal on the Lux Algo chart is still intact. When those things flash, more often than not, over the next couple of days, we end up seeing the smart trail get touched. But that's not the only reason. Look at this MACD crossing bearish. Has not crossed bearish since way back here on October 8th. What happened when it crossed bearish? Oh, would you look at that? We cooled off to actually a little bit below that smart trail, right? We were 100% overbought at these top positions as well on the 4-hour chart. And if you go over to the daily chart, I believe you're going to see, yeah, that's what I thought. We're seeing some bearishness on the daily chart as well, which takes me to my second level. Remember I said $2 is going to be that first one? Well, the second level is going to be back down here towards 181. A lot higher than what I said last week when I said potentially 160 was back on the table. You guys have seen my blue line. I'm actually going to be moving this line here in a second up here towards 180. I'll explain why here in just a couple of minutes. But what you're going to see here, you're going to see the MACD after kind of giving us a little bit of shakeout, crossing bearish, crossing bullish, crossing bearish, shooting right back up. Now it's curving once again. It is telling us, hey, we're overextended right now. It's time for this MACD to cool off and come back down. We're 100% overbought. We've been living there, right? But here's the big one that's going to be the kicker. The oscillators are setting in these lower highs, despite the fact that the price action has been slightly setting these higher highs. Well, this is quadruple bearish divergence, not just regular, not just double, not just triple. We have quadruple bearish divergence. And you guys see the money flow here that is finally going to the downside, but also that bright green section. Anyone who has Lux Algo, premium Lux Algo, you guys have been crushing it in trading recently, but you'll know, because we teach it here, that bright green area is what we would call excessive buyers. It means a lot of extra money flowing in for a last good pump. Well, when that money leaves, this is what usually happens. These things fall to the downside. Well, now all of that excessive buying is leaving. And it looks like the party temporarily, I don't want to make people think that this means the top is in for SUI and we're doing nothing but go to the downside. The temporary short-term top for SUI, I do believe, is in, and a cool-off down to at least $2, if not 180 is back on the table. I told you I'd talk more about that level. Let's talk about it here. You can see, let's turn off Lux Algo because what you need to know, first of all, right here, 181, let's make another box, and I'll just delete this other one. This box right here, is going to be interesting. Because of the top of the smart trail, but also it is the rising level of support on this rising broadening wedge. I think this is going to be one. Sui is having like a Solana type of rally, like what we saw happen last year with Solana. I think Sui's doing the same thing. So despite the fact that traditionally, if you guys learn how to do technical analysis, more often than not, these formations, when they're rising wedges, whether broadening or constricting, they usually break to the downside. I think this is one that you bounce off that support level one more time and then make a move to the upside. If we do go to the downside, which again, I don't think we will, but I want to make sure you're prepared. If we lose this level, there is a crazy world in which we see a $1.35 on Sui. Once again, $1.36. That would be a massive drop from these recent highs. That would be a 42% move to the downside. Impossible? No, not impossible. But I do not think it's necessarily likely. I'll tell you this, though, even though I'm saying I don't think it's going to happen, I will have some dry powder one way or another. And if I see a $1.35 Sui, you better believe I'm scooping that up, because this project is going to have a phenomenal bull run. I just told you it's like the Solana of last year. It might be like a Cardano of 2021. And anyone who knows what happened in 2021 with Cardano knows that a lot of people made a lot of money. Sui has the potential to be one of those projects. But keep your eye back around 181 is my more realistic buying level. Let's get rid of this line. This is now invalidated because we didn't make the move earlier. This level here, 185, 181 is going to be my expectation where I'm going to be purchasing more. And then again, if we drop to 135, dream come true. I would love to buy more there. That's what we got for Sui. Let's keep on going. What time do we got? 3:17. We got some time here. Let's check in one more altcoin, and then we're going to get to our stock of the day. But first, Shiba Inu. Have you guys heard of it? Have you guys been watching it? It is all over the news right now. People are talking about it. The trading volume is sky high right now on Shiba Inu. And the reason why, major burn in effect. T-Shroom's going to tell us about that later. What I want to tell you about is what's happening here on the charts. Now, remember earlier when we saw a very good textbook looking inverse head and shoulders pattern on Solana? If you're just joining, we're talking about that beautiful looking formation right there. Sheep doesn't have a beautiful inverse head and shoulders pattern, but it has what I would call a C level. Like we'll give it a C. If this was a test on inverse head and shoulders pattern, it gets a C. What are we talking about? We got a nice little left shoulder right here. We got a nice little head right here. Sorry, I drew this wrong. My eyes deceived me. Excuse me. Left shoulder right here. There we go. Let's do this again. Draw left shoulder right here. This is why it's kind of ugly, is because somebody, I don't know if they used a hammer or what, caved in this guy's head, because he's got a nice divot in the head right there. But I'll count that as a head. And then this right here is our right shoulder looking to be formed at the moment. If you were to move this over and look at the neckline right here, let's do this because it's slanted. Sometimes I like to do candle body closes rather than the wicks. It's just a choice, but I'm going to go with that one. I'm not going to do the full wick. I'm just going to do the more sustained bottom of the head up to the neckline. This, if it plays out to fruition, and I said this is a very ugly inverse head and shoulders pattern, but there is probably traders out there trading this formation. This would call for a price level of Sui to go up here to 33618. All right, that's a level we saw way back here in March of 2024, right? Back when almost everything else was peaking. It would be a major win for SHIB. Let's take a look, though, at what is happening over here on the daily chart. You can see a recent bounce off a very, very strong bullish breaker block, this yellow box right here. That's a very positive sign. Moves to the upside, something to keep an eye on. Of course, the neckline is going to be interesting, but major breaker block up here at 40244, that's going to be something to keep your eyes on for potential resistance. Most recently, while we had an amazing buy signal back in here, although it wasn't a perfect buy signal because we really didn't get the green reversal, we recently had a sell signal. Red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow, had a good little drop off in price back down to where? Oh, look at that, guys. Let me turn off this one so you guys can see it more clearly. Boom. Smart trail. Again, this is the strategy, guys. This is a 90% profitable trading strategy. When you get that sell or buy signal and you trade it back to the smart trail, 90% of the time you will be profitable. Now, though, it looks like it's time to start talking about bullish momentum once again. The money flow is still negative. The oscillator's kind of stay in the mid zone, but if we can get one more move to the downside, get ourselves a reversal flash and positive momentum on the other two, the money flow and the oscillator, Shiba Inu is going to be cooking with some grease. What you're kind of looking for right now, I would say, let's look at the 4-hour chart and see if it's going to cool off here a little bit. But I am probably looking for some form of a long position here on SHIB with this new attention. Again, T-Shroom is going to tell us more of the details, but from the chart perspective, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I think, that's just so... I don't love this because I don't think the smart trail's back on the table. I think the order block here at 40175 is going to be a very good spot for a potential pullback pattern on that 4-hour chart for Shiba Inu. Big resistance coming in here towards that neckline here on 40202. But for now, look for a little pullback on SHIB, and then again, longer time frame, bullish formations, bullish momentum in play on Shiba Inu. Let's move on, though, to our last technical analysis chart that was planned of the day, at least. We have some Q&A later on the show. We'll check others, or if we have like a super chat. I don't know, we had 2 super chats that we're going to read here in just... Well, one of them was deleted because I think it was a shill. But we'll have another one we're going to read here in just a second. Also, we got some gifted visitors. There we go. Let's go to Coinbase, T-Shroom. Let's go to Coinbase and take a look at it. It is up 11% today. If you have invested in Coinbase, if you're holding it. Oh, wait, T-Shroom, did we talk about it last week? Something like ARK Invest and Cathie Wood recently bought the dip on Coinbase, and we said something like, if Cathie Wood is buying the dip on Coinbase, maybe you should as well.
Tim, that's right.
Oh, we did? Okay, I couldn't remember. Couldn't remember if that was said or not. Anyone who listened, you guys are looking very good today. Does this mean the rally is over? No, it does not. This is something that has a little bit more room to the upside just from the falling wedge pattern itself. This should send the price back up to this level of resistance, back up above 200 to around 212. In this zone of resistance, we have been tracking. This has been form resistance. This has been support. This zone is going to be something to keep your eyes on. It's also, coincidentally, an order block and the take profit level and the smart trail all here on the daily chart. So Lux Algo just helping us even further confirm the serious level here around 211, 212 as your next landing spot for Coinbase before, again, small rejection, maybe a higher low, and we keep on going to the upside. Money flow, while it's technically a little negative here, you're going to see everything else. RSI, MACD, it's all flowing to the upside. That money flow looks like it's curving over and wants to head back up. I wonder if we went on the 4-hour chart. Money flow was positive here this morning. It's a little down right now. And that's what I'm talking about. We're a little bit overextended. We're probably going to reject here on that 4-hour chart. But the daily chart still showing us a lot of positivity. What about our weekly chart over here? Oh, there we go. Weekly chart. I'm liking this, but buy signal on the weekly chart only takes us a smart trail, green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow, positive MACD, positive RSI. But look at that. RSI, the smart trail on the weekly chart takes us right there to 212. If we break above that, though, that's what I'll say. Is if we can get above this smart trail on the weekly chart, now all of a sudden we're talking about a move back up above 300, pushing towards 368 at the top of this resistance cloud. And then the bull market, if it continues with this momentum, just goes higher and higher and higher. But for now, Coinbase looking very, very good, and the rally is not over yet. T-Shroom, that's our technical analysis for the second. Before we get into the news, because I know you got a lot of good stuff cooked up for us, let's check out what chat has been doing. Yeah. We had a super chat from Crypto Arrow, but it was deleted by the great Matt C., which makes me think he said something that he's really not supposed to say. But thank you for the money, Crypto Arrow. Morgan Powell said, thoughts on Moonwell chart, bros. Thank you. Now, Morgan Powell has been here for a long time, right? So if I didn't recognize the name, I would consider like, hey, is this maybe a shill? Like person trying to. Morgan Powell is not a shill. Again, we can verify. So Moonwell must be a legitimate project. Somebody asked us about this a couple weeks ago, T-Shroom, and we pretty much said, don't know that much about it. I still haven't looked into it. Possibly Crux, has looked at that. I don't know if Crux is in chat. Crux, I think, is in chat. Crux, let us know. Morgan, thank you for the super chat. I have no opinion right off the bat because I've never researched Moonwell. But maybe it's something we got to look into, T-Shroom.
Yeah, maybe.
We did have 5 memberships gifted from the great Alex Green. I was just talking about Alex Green.
Oh, wow.
In California. Obviously, he's a good friend of mine and Matt C's, where I was hanging out with Matt. And I said I hadn't heard from Alex in a little while. I knew he's really busy. He has a family. He works a lot. Well, here's the great Alex Green coming in here, gifting William Benishek. Benishek? I don't know.
Belichick?
Shunzen. No, it's not Belichick. It's Benishek, I think, is the right way. Shunzen JC. Gets a membership. Servando Estrada. Oh,
nice.
That one just, if you guys are in the
Servando Estrada.
Yeah, it's always fun saying his name. Papa Guth. And then Twill Line Man for Hire. Or T-Will Line Man for Hire. Congratulations. Thank you to Alex for gifting those memberships. Anyone who's a YouTube member, you are eligible to connect to our Discord and be a part of our Wednesday, right after the stream, right after 3 p.m. streams. We have members-only chat. It's called Bro Time. Even the YouTube members get to be a part of that one. If you want to be a part of our other Q&As, which we literally have every single day except for Saturday and Sunday, of course, on the weekends, you can join the memberships in the description down below. That being said, though, thank you to Alex. Shout out. Is that all? Did I miss anything else, T-Shroom? Any other super chats?
Nope.
I think that's it. I think I'm good. I think it's time for the people watching right now to smash the like button. If you enjoyed the technical analysis, if you enjoyed the show so far, smash like, hit subscribe. T-Shroom. A lot of news to get through today. A lot of altcoin stuff to talk about. What you got for us?
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and jump on into a tweet here from FD White. It's pretty cool. We're going to get into more of the breaking news here, but this was Google Trends search term Bitcoin just hit a 4-year low, and we are above 60K. This, to me, is a recipe for some very big bullishness. Of course, you don't see this very often, a Google Trends overlay on TradingView Bitcoin chart. So take that for what it is, bullish, and we'll keep moving on here.
I want to make sure before I move on. Just very small clarification. First of all, shout out to FD White, friend of the channel. Love him. Great insight from FD. I don't know though. I'm going to be NBC here. I'm going to do a small fact check. Right, small fact check. Is it low compared to what we've seen recently? Heck yes, it is. And is this a positive metric? Because despite the fact that Bitcoin is rallying, it's up over 60 or close to 66,000, and yet it's really low in terms of search terms. Yes, that's super bullish, right? So I got to start off by saying credit to FD White for pointing out this very bullish chart. It is not the lowest, though, that we have seen in the last 4 years. What I'm looking at right now here, T-Shroom, is that we're sitting, I don't know what this number symbolizes in terms of what 15, but it says we're currently at 15, right? If you go back to September of 2023, so a little over a year ago, we reached 13, right? So we're extremely close to the same low levels that we've had since way back here in October of 2020. But it's not officially the lowest the search term has been, but it is in a spot that is very comforting to all of us long-term holders, all of us who have been riding this bear market. And again, we're in a bull market now, but riding throughout this whole process. The fact that nobody's looking at Bitcoin means that we get to buy all of the supply ourselves. And guess what else thinks like that? BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Michael Saylor, and MicroStrategy, even though I don't really dislike them, they still are buying all the supply. But hopefully you, me, and everybody else watching here, T-Shroom, is buying this dip because the Google world is dead quiet right now about Bitcoin, and that's a good thing.
That's right, Tim. Well, it's about to get even more bullish. For those of you who don't know, there is a little concept called coins on reserve, and you can either have coins in reserve in an exchange, you can have them on the exchange, or you can have them in a cold storage wallet. So let's take a look here at some data on that. According to CryptoQuant, Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges have dropped to an all-time low of just over 2.5 million Bitcoin, reflecting growing demand for non-custodial solutions and also bullishness. Spot exchanges cumulatively hold 1.1 million Bitcoins as reserves, while derivatives exchange have 1.3 million Bitcoins in their reserves. You can actually go over to CryptoQuant.com and you can see the purple line is the exchange reserves. So Tim, as the exchange reserves go away, they evaporate as they have here in recent months. July went down, in August it went down quite a bit, and now in September it's taking that next leg down. What this essentially means is that less and less people are having their Bitcoin or their Ethereum on exchange. This chart here is for Bitcoin, but this phenomenon is actually happening for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what does this mean? It means folks are signaling that their intent is actually to keep their crypto, not to have it on exchange where it's much easier to sell. And this also plays a role with the market making mechanism on exchanges, on the derivatives and the spot side. This is actually how there's less supply, and if the demand stays the same, then this can actually boost price to the upside. This is how price is boosted to the upside. So this is very, very bullish. This is what we need to see to continue to have loads and loads of hope for the coming bull market. So, Tim, we take a look at this type of information probably once or twice a week. For it to get to all-time lows, this is very, very exciting, very bullish. Tim, what are your thoughts here on this one here?
Well, so I think you did a good job explaining it. So I'm going to go a little bit different direction with what people need to understand. It's clearly if there's no crypto on exchanges or very little, that's supply down, demand increasing, which we think it will. What does that mean? Price goes the upside. But let's go even deeper here, because some of you listening here right now, and I don't want to be insulting to anybody. We're going to have real talk. Real talk with Tim is what we're going to call this section. A lot of people listening right now do not have cold wallets, right? And I could use this whole section to make it as a big pitch and say, go get a cold wallet. We have an option down in the description. We do. All that is true. But that's not the point here. My point is to tell you why you should be so bullish and why you should go get a cold wallet. Smart money movers, they're the ones moving everything off into cold wallets because they do not want to even risk anything bad happening, and they're expecting a major move to the upside. So they're saying, all right, I don't want something to happen and all of a sudden an exchange release my information and I end up losing my crypto because I'm thinking everything's going to the upside. So I'm going to make it off exchange. And that, when a smart money move does something, that tells you everything you need to know about what markets are doing. If smart money is moving money off exchanges, so should you, because that means it's going to be bullish. When we see a massive onslaught of people putting their money onto exchanges, that doesn't mean instantaneously. I think a big mistake people make is thinking the day that these exchanges get removed, that means boom, that's it. That's the bottom, nothing but upside. Not always true. Same way, when we start to see it coming back on, it doesn't mean the day we see a massive increase that that's the end. It just means right now, with all this coming off exchanges, the whales are preparing themselves for a massive rally. We might get a little more of a dip. We might cool off a little bit. I don't think we will, but we could. In the same way, I want to make sure people are prepared for this, because we're going to have to start flipping here in the next couple months, T-Shroom, into talking about buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. We're going to have to switch our talking to sell the top, sell the top, sell the top, sell the top, right? That's how our things be. And I want to make sure you guys understand, when we start to see money flow back onto exchanges, that doesn't mean the top is in. It means the top is close. Same thing here. Money's flowing off in record numbers. Doesn't for sure mean the bottom is in. It just means we're very, very close to an explosive move happening. Who am I? I'm the type of person who says, I don't buy the exact bottoms. I don't sell the exact tops. I see details like this, and I'm saying I'm buying where we currently are because I don't want to miss out. That's what smart money's doing. That's what I recommend you guys doing as well. T-Shroom, we can move on to the next one. Very, very bullish stories so far. What else we got?
Well, we did the TA for Shiba Inu. Now let's get into the fundamentals of it.
Yeah.
SHIB price prediction. Can the burn rate fuel a breakout to $1? So we'll return to the charts maybe to answer that question. But getting to the fundamentals here, I think that's going to be a stretch. But we'll see.
Let's not get crazy here.
The burn rate spike fuels investor optimism. These are the facts on the ground. A major factor behind SHIB's price surge is the remarkable 14,557% increase in its burn rate. In the last 24 hours, over 279 million SHIB tokens have been burned, reducing the total supply, notably by a single wallet and it was responsible for burning pretty much all of that. So somebody's out there burning SHIB, for what reason? Obviously, to reduce supply and as demand stays the same, and that is having a bullish effect on the price. Now, we already covered SHIB pretty in depth. Tim, is there anything that you want to return to the charts for there? And what do you think about this $1 price prediction? I mean, come on.
A 59x from current prices, right? So let me start by saying why it's not ridiculous, and then tell you why it is ridiculous. This is going to sound confusing. It's not ridiculous because let's not pretend that 56 or 59x is impossible, right? That's not like when people say XRP is going to $420. I'm like, that's impossible in this bull market, right? When people say Bitcoin's going to 5 million by the end of 2025, that's impossible, right? Just improbable, just ridiculously. 59x is not going to happen on Shiba Inu unless Shiba Inu becomes like a top 5 coin, right? If Shiba Inu takes the world by storm, all of a sudden, move over Doge. SHIB is the real dog coin. Everybody and their mother's using it. X is using it. Okay. Is there a scenario in which we see a 59x? Yes. It would need the stars to align and possibly Jesus to come back. I don't know. The probability of SHIB 59xing extremely thin. Realistically, 10 to 15x should be expectations for SHIB, and that's good money. That's very good money. But $1 for Shiba Inu, unless they continue to burn. That's the other thing about this detail. I don't know if you got into it yet, T-shirt. Do you know the details of the burn?
Yep.
Okay. It was one wallet that burned it.
Yep.
Great situation. That is not a sustainable. It's not like all of a sudden Shiba Inu went into this thing. Hey guys, every couple weeks expect this much burning, this much burning, this much burning. This to me, at least what I'm reading, sounds like a one-time deal. It's a good deal. It's going to bring momentum back. SHIB was a big player in the last bull market. So as the bull market takes on, people are going to come back and see SHIB's moving and say, all right, let's buy some SHIB. It's not a sustained bullish momentum that would cause us to 59x and go to $1, right? Again, 10 to 15x. Could we get somewhere in the world? Oh, wait. I did that wrong, T-Shroom. Excuse me. I misspoke dramatically. All right, never mind. $1 is impossible. We need to go back here. I misread my commas. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. That would not be, and it didn't sound right in my head. It would not be a 59x. It would be a 55,598x. All right. We'll move that into above XRP to 420 and Bitcoin to 5 million. That is impossible. Not going to happen. Yeah, we're not even getting anywhere close to $1. Let's go. Let's really cool it off here. Expectation for SHIB, and this is not my official price prediction. This is my rough range. I think we get up to 3 zeros and a 2. I think we could maybe get as high as 3 zeros and maybe start pushing towards a 3. To ask for much more than that, not going to happen with SHIB. And guess what? That's still SHIB staying a top 20 coin, which I think that it will. $1, not anytime soon. And I'm going to be very honest with you. No, never. SHIB will never be at $1. Not going to happen.
Wow, Tim, pretty definitive statements there. I agree. I definitely agree. We're talking about burn rates. We're talking about coins shooting for the stars. We actually had a pretty interesting event yesterday, another attempt to shoot for the stars. Let's take a look at this, Tim. Let's take a listen.
Landing burn, 13 ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in the air.
Megadilla has popped the booster.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower.
So there you go, Tim. Space travel, extremely exciting, getting people all razzed. And it's all because of a major leap in technology of returning Space Booster to land to be used again in an extremely efficient way. Now, we are not a space show. We might start talking more about space, but right now, this is just a very exciting moment for humanity to have, reached a pretty big milestone. Now, I will say, Tim, as exciting as this is, I live on the Space Coast right now. I live very close to Cape Canaveral. I have to say, we've seen a couple of launches now. One of the launches, I'm pretty sure they did this, so I'm not sure if this is the first time they've done it, but this might be the first time for the Super Heavy rocket booster. All the names kind of get jarbled together. But Tim, this is exciting. What are your thoughts here on this?
It's just another cool step of technology. I mean, obviously, it was a big deal when Elon was able to find a way to reuse rockets. He got them to land safely. I know there's slight damage, but that was usually NASA. When NASA would shoot off a rocket after spending who knows how many millions, if not billions of dollars on it, it would get destroyed, right? It was one and done. With Elon just continuing to further the affordability of space, travel, and exploration with moves like this, if we want to get really deep on the show about what my belief system is on what's going to happen in space, we could have a very long conversation and be very good. That being said, I believe that space exists. I believe that studying it is good. Should we live there? I don't know. But if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Elon that figures that one out. And this is just another step in that direction of pouring these billions of dollars into space exploration and not just wasting it every single time, but being able to reuse it and keep it going. You don't bet against Elon. You don't bet against him. Everything he touches seems to turn to gold.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's an exciting time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be out on the Space Coast. A lot of chatter around, the innovations there. So very, very exciting. Now, Tim, here on the show, we like to do a little something called the Factoid of the day, where we test your knowledge on anything and everything. There's usually not a common theme with any of these factoids. And today, the factoid of the day is brought to you all by who we trust with our crypto taxes. That's decrypted.tax. It's not tax season, but it's never too late, never too early to go ahead and get started and make sure that you're set up for success when it comes to crypto taxes. Tim, what was the first reusable rocket launched into space? Was it A, the Falcon 9, B, the Saturn V, or C, the Space Shuttle, or D, the Ariane 5? And I think B is Saturn 5.
I don't know. It's not going to be a space shuttle, I don't think. Reusable rocket launched into space. I'm familiar with the name Falcon 9 and Space Shuttle, but I'm not familiar with the others, but I don't remember all the details of Falcon 9. But seeing as that it's the one I remember, I'm just going to go with it and just stab at A. Falcon 9 is my best guess.
All right. Let us know, folks. Let us know, bros. What do you think it is in the chat, in the comments? Here we go.
Was Space Shuttle?
Space Shuttle, first launched in 1981. This is the first one you've gotten wrong in a little while.
It is.
Tim, how does the burn feel?
The burn of getting it wrong?
That would be the burn I was referring to. Yes.
Okay, a lot of times I can limit it down to 2, right? And then, but this one, maybe it should burn because it was literally the one I removed and said I don't know what the other 2 are, but I don't really care. I mean, again, space isn't my area of expertise. I'm not too hurt about it. Again, I was gonna lose one eventually here. Not everyone can get one every factoid of the day right for 3 weeks straight. So we'll be okay. We'll come back tomorrow. I'll regroup. We'll win tomorrow. It's
for
fine.
Show. Now, Warrior is actually really, really knowledgeable about space. I think he makes components for some rockets and some cool stuff like that. He said this. That was the first time they recovered a spaceship booster. All the ones you've seen, referring to me, T-Shroom, are either Falcon 9 or Super Heavy, which is 2 Falcon 9s landing at the same time. So very, very cool. So there's all kinds of specificity of the different rockets, and of course that would be the case. Again, we're definitely not claiming to be anywhere near close to experts, or even I would say I'm not even really knowledgeable on space travel. I just have a lot of thoughts on it from a societal, anthropological standpoint. So, Tim, This has been a really good episode. Delivered a lot of good alpha here. Unfortunately, you didn't take the dub with the.
I didn't. But I'll tell you this, guys.
Factoid.
If you want to learn more about T-Shroom's thoughts on space, fun story. One of my favorite conversations I've ever walked into was a conversation between him and another friend of ours. That was a very hot debate where it covered a lot of grounds, and it simply ended with T-Shroom saying, "And that's why space travel would solve all of our problems." And it was a great conversation. He knows everything there is to know about it. Come back tomorrow morning, our members, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, for deep takes with T-Shroom. Maybe he'll get into some of his space thoughts. All right, T-Shroom, while we were okay, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, Tim, if you're sitting out there and you're like, "No, Tim, I have to know now." I did recently tweet out, if you go over to my Twitter, you can see I tweeted out here. This is the one, just commenting here. This is like multiple thread post here, but we won't get into it here. But yeah, covered a couple of these are my breaking edge thoughts on it. So
cool. Okay, so while we were talking through some other news stories, there was Matt C messaged and he said, "Hey Tim, I don't know if he tagged you as well. He definitely tagged me. He said, look up Moonwell, do some digging on Moonwell because it is a legit project, right? So what we're gonna do here, T-Shroom, we're gonna do very light research. I would love Crux is in here listening. Crux, if you do some as well, maybe go a step deeper Wednesday morning. And not that the shows would be titled around or anything, but for anyone who wants to learn more about Moonwell, give us a couple days to look even deeper into it before giving you guys, an official thought about it. But we're gonna do some light research on it. Is it a crypto? First of all, let's make sure.
Yes. Yeah, the ticker. I believe the ticker is WELL. WELL.
Well, you can share my screen. We're going to walk through. For anyone who's newer to crypto, you're looking to investigate things. One of the cool things you can use is either CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. You can type in different things. So I typed in Moonwell here. It is coin number 2,742. All right. That's going to be one of the reasons why I don't know much about it, right? I do not go digging into the degen coins. Others do, and they do a great job. Crux does a great job of doing it. There's just a lot of other things I focus on. That being said, let's take a look at some details here. Let's go to all time. What's the price action looked like after opening back in 2022? So this isn't a new project either. Let's start off here. It's not a new project. Why haven't I heard about it? It's not a great start, but I'm not going to kill it because of that. I'm just saying, why has it been around for so many years and I've never heard about it? It's higher than its initial launching, right? Had a great run earlier in April of 2024, March, April. It's rallying here again, right? So these are all good things. Let's take a look at some other details. Current market cap is about $144.8 million market cap. All right. Again, it's not terrible, especially if this thing was way new. But the fact that it is over 2 years old and it only has an $144 million market cap, I'm not saying it's not going to make it off. Maybe, for example, it just got a bunch of new funding or new partnerships. I don't know. That's not an impressive market cap for a 2-year-old project in general. Everything could have some different details to it, right? But I just want to make sure for educational purposes, if you guys are just perusing through degen stuff and you see a 2-year-old coin at $144 million market cap, more often than not, it's not the greatest. Making a lot of caveats there. I just want to make sure I say that. There's no max supply. The total supply, 5 billion. Well, circulating right now is 2.86 billion. So does that mean in this case that there's 5 billion created? I don't think so. I think there's right now the thought is they create 5 billion, but they're going to slowly unlock. So we have a little more than half of the current supply in order. Is that good? Is that bad? It's not the greatest on its surface, but this is where Wednesday Crux will be able to go a little more in depth. T-Shirt will go a little more in depth. What's the strategy? What's the unlock strategy and schedule? It's going to have a major impact on how much more gets put out. Because, for example, let's just say that the market cap doubles and goes up. Let's go a little more than doubles, just for quick math. It goes to $300 million in market cap, right? If the supply doubles as well, the price will stay darn near close to the same. It's not going to move, right? So the unlocking schedule is going to be very important for deciding, is this a project worth investing in long term? Now, before I move on, and get T-Shroom's take here. I want to make sure I explain this. 2 people have asked about it. 2 people I really like. Clearly, there's something about this project that is turning heads and making people excited about it. What that is, I'm not certain. I'm just trying from an educational perspective to help you understand. Traditionally, I see a coin 2 years old, only $144 million market cap. I should not believe that that's going to end up becoming a top 100 coin. That's just not the recipe for success. I see a coin with a max supply and only half of its total existing supply in circulation. Without knowing the unlock schedule on the surface, not the greatest thing necessarily, but I have to go deeper research. But based off what I'm seeing right here, I have some big questions on Moonwell. I'm not investing a dime until I learn the answers and I feel comfortable with those whatsoever. Drew P.S. Good question. Is the team doxed? Yes, it'd be really good to know who the team is. What have they worked on in the past? The Beeve30 said, well, is the largest lending platform. Dude will be eating his words. Cool. It's the largest lending platform. Good. I'm learning a little bit more. It doesn't solve everything I just asked questions about, right? So again, I'm not telling you that this is not going to make you any money. I'm saying on its surface, I don't just look this up and say, oh my gosh, this is the hottest next thing in the space. It's been around for 2 years. And it's only at 144 million, right? We got to find out what is going to cause that from a market cap alone. I mean, why would you, let's back this up a second. Let me ask another question. Let's pretend this sucker goes to $1.4 billion market cap, right? That's a 10x in market cap. You're not going to 10x your money, but a 10x market cap. But let's pretend the supply stays the same and you 10x your money. Why risk on coin number 2,742 for a 10x when you can get a 10x with a top 100 coin? That's a lot more information well known. For me to be interested in this, I just want you guys to understand, for me to be interested in Moonwell that low, I need to have reasonable expectation that I will probably at least get a 50x in return, right? To risk it on a coin that low in ranking, that small, I need to have a reasonable thought I'm going to see a 50x. In only the market cap alone, that means I got to get over $5 billion in market cap, and the supply is going to stay the same, which it probably won't. So realistically, I probably need closer to $6 or $7 billion market cap. What on here makes me think that this market cap is going to 6 or 7 billion? I don't know. But that is why you're going to need to come back on Wednesday, because maybe Crux is going to do some research, and he's going to come out Wednesday morning, and he's going to educate myself. He's going to educate you guys. He's going to say, hey guys, this is the next best thing. This is the reason why it's 2 years old and hasn't done anything, but this is why it's about to. This is why you should invest in Moonwell. I would love to find out that this is a great investment. But at the moment, I just want to make sure people are aware. Do your research. Do not go running. Do not go running to some exchange. I don't even know where you get Moonwell. I can find out markets right here. Let's see. Aerodrome Finance. Oh, it has it on Coinbase. Okay, you can get it on Coinbase. But that being said, don't just run over to Coinbase or KuCoin or BingX or any of these things and go buy it without doing some deeper research, because the surface isn't the most beautiful I've seen. You got to dig deeper. Look forward to Crux and T-Shroom answering that question Wednesday morning. T-Shroom, any thoughts before we transition from that? You are muted.
Yeah, so I pulled up, this is actually Forbes.com has like a section on Moonwell. So Moonwell Artemis uses battle-tested code from Moonwell Apollo protocol to provide an open, non-custodial lending and borrowing DeFi protocol. Moonwell's goal is to be the most user-friendly, fast, secure DeFi protocol in the ecosystem. Halborn security auditing all contracts before deployment. So, what this seems to me is it's like a very legit project, right? But it's had some trouble gaining adoption, right? And that's why there's folks in here asking about it, perhaps promoting it, perhaps just curious, whatever it is, right? But what is this? What's the bigger lesson here? Why are we taking so much time to highlight this project? I think the biggest value that you all can get is to realize that there are thousands of crypto projects out there, a couple very similar to the .com bubble, where you had the birth of the internet, and then you have all these .coms like AOL and Yahoo and Google and Amazon. Eventually there were winners, right? We're at probably inning 2 of crypto, of Web 3, right? You had Web 2, and they have Web 3. We're probably inning 2. We're very far from the end. So could Moonwell come from the behind and beat Aave, beat Compound, beat Balancer, beat all these other DeFi projects that have been around and gotten billions in adoption? Perhaps it could, because it does look legit. You don't get on Forbes if you're a scam. That's one. You have FTX, right? There's always the chance that there is something rotten there. But as far as I can tell, it looks like a pretty legit-ish project. Does that mean you should invest in it? Does that mean that it's going to be the best way for you to build generational wealth? That's up for you to decide. Here on the Investing Bros, we like to just highlight the beautiful potential that is in the top 100 coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then if you're feeling more risky, you want to go further out of the risk curve, names like Chainlink, and then more extreme here like Caspa and Ordi, which is like more of a meme coin, and BitTensor, like these up and coming coins they're kind of past the penny stock phase. Right, if you want to use the stock market equivalent, they're not a penny stock so much. They have adoption from big VC firms. They're getting good buy-in. However, they're not in the top 100. That's one way to invest. You buy low, you sell high. You buy when it's startup, and you sell, when it's in the top 100. Right, but for most folks a lot of folks who are watching Investing Bros, we like to think that we help protect people from loss by encouraging them just to focus on the top coins that have already passed the Rubicon, already well out of that penny stock phase. So,
I think it's really important what you even said there, T-Shim, because some people, if you're listening right now and you're trying to turn $1,000 into $1 million, right? This might not. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to discourage you to watch our channel. If that's your end all be all goal, you're going to turn $1,000 into $1 million by next year. This might not be the channel for you. I'm sorry. Hopefully you like us. You want to stick around, but that's not who we're talking to right now. First of all, that's a very hard and dangerous goal to have in the first place.
Yeah.
But if your goal is to turn $1,000 into $10,000, $1,000, maybe you want to stretch it, maybe it's $20,000. We can help you with that. I think a lot of you are probably going to try to turn $50,000 into, $500,000, stuff like that. We are here to help you make wise investment decisions. Not go crazy, not go gambling, not shoot for the moon and probably miss. Realistic expectations with safe investment strategies to make sure that you better yourself every single bull market. That's why you should be here. And if you want to learn how to go more in depth with that, maybe you love the YouTube channel. Maybe you watch, you're like, man, T-Shroom and Tim and Crux have been phenomenal, but I need more. I need more information. I need to go deeper. I need hands-on approach. That is why we started our membership options over in Discord. Ultimately, if you want to learn how to trade just in general, we're the perfect spot to help you step by step. So many great people in there. If you want to trade with us, that's another great community. I have people over there. I've been talking with some of the members. Some of them are amazing traders by themselves. I didn't teach them anything, but they just said, you know what? I really love to be a part of the bros community and trade with other people to get second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth opinions, to see what other people are looking at. So even if you're already trading, if you just want to be a part of a group, joining and trading with us is awesome. But the other one, again, is let us help you save yourself from yourself. Mm-hmm. Cannot tell you how many conversations T-Shroom, myself, or Crux have had with people where they come in and they tell us their plan, and we have to tell them, hey, let's think about this down the road. Does this really work? And they end up walking away completely changing their plan, whether it's a risk asset, whether they're just reading the research wrong, or maybe they just have no idea what to do whatsoever with investing. They just want to make some money. We help you with all of it. Trade with us, learn how to trade, and make sure you're not kicking yourself in the butt. Join our memberships down below. I think the only reason we've had 2 people, T-Shroom, I could be wrong, 2 people have asked for a refund, and it's not because of anything, it's because they were struggling and just couldn't get into Discord. If you know how to access Discord, that's a good start right there. Nobody's ever asked for a refund that knows how to use Discord.
That's right. And it's really simple. And we have a bunch of tutorial videos too to help you all onboard and understand how to use the different channel systems. It's similar to like Facebook groups in a way. It's really approachable for anyone. Whether you're trying to learn how to trade, learn how to invest, those links are in the description here. I've been highlighting them. This is for the free one where you can just kind of wet your feet, just check it out. And then this is for Brolux members who are folks who are ready to take that next step and really pursue financial freedom through trading and or investing. It's a lot of fun.
Boom. Well, T-Shroom, it is 3:59.
It is.
Meaning here in just a minute, we're going to end. But you're going to be going live with our VIP traders. We just talked about that. Doing a Q&A right after the show. I'll be live at 7 p.m. tonight. And we will have our 8 p.m. X Spaces. You don't want to miss it every single Monday. Come and ask some questions. Just interact with us. It's going to be a blast. But anything you want to say to the people, T-Shroom, before we wrap up the show?
Yes. I mean, today we had a nice kind of curveball thrown at us with the whole, kind of altcoin that nobody had really heard of. Just stay humble, right? If you think you're taking on too much risk, just de-risk, right? Just make sure that you're doing the right thing for your family and for your financial goals. Don't feel like you're going to get some kind of crazy millionaire status by buying one coin, right? That's because it's a really small cap. That's usually not a way to succeed. And 9%, 90% of the time, that's not a way to succeed. Agreed.
All right, guys, that is all we have for you in today's show. Again, if you enjoyed it, smash the like and hit subscribe. The rest of you guys and our VIP members, we'll see you guys here shortly. Adios, everybody.
Adios.
See you tomorrow.